Live from Dennis's house. Great show today. We got Corey Muller. And we're going to be doing Big Bambu by Cheech Chong. And thank the band, the Live from Dennis's House players, for this awesome music back there. All right, we'll cut it down now, because I want to discuss the marijuana laws and legalization and the pros and cons of that. And we'll get to our letters and things like that. So, anyway, marijuana is illegal in most places, and there's a lot of talk going on now about decriminalization, legalization, all this kind of stuff. And they actually, the first state I think to make it legal was Colorado. And am I correct in that? I think I am. So anyway,
I just know somebody got smart. That's all.
Just recently, they made it legal in Colorado, and it's like it's a boom. It's like the gold rush down there. That the only problems that they're having is that pizza sales have gone out of control, and like even
the 30-minute thing or free is gone.
Yeah, right.
They
So
can't afford that anymore.
it's like a whole new industry. I've heard of people going down to Colorado now. They're opening up stores, and they have this whole great industry down there. And I personally believe, I do not imbibe. I have not, but I believe that people should have the right. You cannot legislate morality is a good way to put it. I like to say that people are going to do this. You mentioned the war on drugs. This was the worst conducted war. It's outrageous that they've had this, for how long now? Say
Reagan?
at least 50 years.
Nancy Reagan was the big
well,
one on that.
she was, but they had started this back in the 60s. Let's say 50, 40 years, whatever, they started this war. And the war has cost billions, trillions of dollars, got so many people killed, so many people arrested unnecessarily, and people still in jail for years for, and I don't feel this is any different than booze.
The crazy thing about it is more people use it than you think.
Oh, yeah.
That's the crazy thing.
And I don't believe that if you make it legal either, that people are going to go out and do it who normally wouldn't do it. It's just because it's actually easier to get, I would say, than if you make it legal, you restrict it, you control it, you tax it.
You do it with cigarettes and alcohol.
Exactly.
And
Kids
look
have
what
a hard time
alcohol
getting
can
it.
do to you.
Actually, yeah, it's very,
A lot of problems in this world come from alcohol.
Exactly. But, they tried that back in the day with Prohibition. And you see where that got us. That got us organized crime, the mafia, Al Capone, and the Kennedys.
Absolutely.
So you can't stop people from doing what you want to do. And a lot of people, I being one of them, that if you tell someone not to do something, they're going to want to do it 10 times more. If you let people do it, then they'll say, who cares?
It's like cigarettes.
Exactly.
You don't see everybody running to go buy a pack of cigarettes.
Right.
There's a war against cigarettes, really.
And now,
because it's a real health issue. On a lot of
exactly, but now you see all this money that's made because we spend so much on trying to police the drug laws. But if you stop that, you no longer have to pay trillions of dollars a year to have the war on drugs. Plus, you get the tax money in.
Have the war on drugs, more money towards where it should be. Fighting the heroin
and
the other things out there.
The cartels and the real problems, people committing crimes and things like that.
Right.
So I think this is...
Stone people are too lazy to commit crimes.
I think that if we stop the war on drugs, we get all that tax money and all the money we don't have to pay out, plus Oprah gives us her money, and Beyonce gives us their money, that's it. We balance the budget and everything's good. There you go. Morgillo, Muller, ticket in 2016. Is that when the next election is? I'm going to save this for a different show because I don't get political, but I am not voting anymore. What do you think of that?
What do you think if I've never voted?
The best thing for that is, I heard someone say this, if voting was important, they wouldn't let us do it.
Illegal. If you did anything, illegal.
So this is the anti-political show. All right, so let's go to our letters now, Corey. How about that? So
These are people that wrote in?
Yes, these are people who wrote in. There's going to be the new segment where I'm going to accept emails, texts, anything. Maybe I'll even start having people call in. But for right now, our first question comes from Mary McWeeny in Spring Lake, New Jersey.
Is this question for me?
Yes, this question is for Corey. It's for both of us, really, but it's to you. She says, my question assumes the medical necessity. If you could take a pill that provided the same benefits and pain relief, why smoke it? Therein lies the addiction and hypocrisy, because we know smoking has long-term degenerative consequences. Take it away, Corey. What's your response to that? Am I getting
the benefit, the same exact benefit?
She's saying that yes, they now are making this in a pill that is whatever THC is the main ingredient. Right. So they're putting it in a pill and they're giving it to you.
Absolutely.
So you would take that instead of the smoking?
The coughing's gone. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The smell is gone.
Right.
All of those things, absolutely.
So will you go on record here and saying that that marijuana is good for medicinal purposes?
Yes. Absolutely.
Because you have some medical conditions, you have arthritis, and this eases your pain.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And that's not obviously you're not the first person. Millions of people say that this helps them out. So I can't understand why at least anyone who wants medicinal, well, the problem is, of course, people abuse it, of course, but people who legitimately need this should have access to this. And I think it's some reason that the big, the whole everything that happens in the world comes back down to money, of course, right? So for some reason, these pharmaceutical companies cannot manufacture weed pills or whatever.
No, they actually are working on it.
Really? Yeah, but for some reason, I don't understand why they're not doing it already and giving this out to the people.
Here's the problem all the way around to what everybody's been force-fed, and the reason why that you're taking marijuana and calling it a drug, okay, grouped in with
right. All right.
Now here's the thing with that, okay, is that cigarettes and alcohol and all the kind of stuff that's legal and it's bad for you and can kill you and cause domestic home problems and all these other things, right? These things, they tax it. Okay. Now, why is it marijuana? Because they can't tax it, and the reason why is you can grow it in your backyard. So why would you go buy it?
Well,
do you understand?
They have a way of doing everything. The man can do whatever he wants to do. The man can, and so he'll just say you cannot grow it. That's illegal.
Right, and of course that's what they're saying. Okay?
Right,
and that's what it is. But they also know people will grow it anyway because they already are now. Okay? All right, so instead of, you can't grow your own, in most places, you can't grow your own cigarettes or have your own still.
Well, right, that's why. If you make your own still, they'll come after you for sure.
And why is that? It's
tax
about
money.
The money. Yeah. Right. So if you can grow it in a... Man, we planted a couple of seeds in St. John Vianney High School in religion class in a potted plant by the window. And it started to grow, and I think some upperclassmen took it. But you could grow it anywhere.
Yeah. So
that's the big problem. They can't control it.
That's true. So I don't know where this is going to go, but I guess if anyone, for next week's show, anyone has any feedback on this, you can write in about any topics we discuss. Be sure to write in. Maybe we'll have a call-in segment by then.
Who is it?
It's me, Dave. Open up, man. I got the stuff.
Who is it?
It's me, Dave, man. Open up. I got the stuff.
Who?
It's Dave, man. Open up. I think the cops saw me come in here.
Who is it?
It's Dave, man. Will you open up? I got the stuff with me.
Who?
Dave, man. Open up.
Dave?
Yeah, Dave. Come on, man. Open up. I think the cops saw me.
Dave's not here.
No, man. I'm Dave, man. Hey, come on, man.
Who is it?
It's Dave, man. Will you open up? I got the stuff with
Who?
me. Dave, man. Open up.
Dave?
Yeah, Dave.
Dave's not here.
No.
Let's talk about the history of marijuana here. Did you ever see Reefer Madness?
Yes. That's where their first attack started, with
Yes.
that movie. That's why they did it.
That's it. That's where the
Turn your teenagers
propaganda,
into craze. Yes.
that they showed. That was so funny. You got to see that movie. And from then it started with jazz musicians, I think, back in the day, and then it in the 50s with the beatniks, and then the hippies, and then so on and so forth, and it's
your
still
average
here.
Joe citizen.
Yes, but one thing I did notice that I never noticed anybody that does it within reason. That anyone that I've ever come in contact that does it does it day in and day out from morning
Like
till
me.
night. Yes. I don't want to mention anybody's name.
Look at the person who whistled.
What's your response to that?
What was the question? You said you didn't know anything.
Exactly.
Can they do it within reason? You have control over it, absolutely.
Forget about that. All right.
These high school boys and girls are having a hop at the local soda fountain. Innocently, they dance. Innocent of a new and deadly menace lurking behind closed doors. Marijuana, the burning weed with its roots in hell. In this film, you will see the ease with which this vicious plant can be grown in your neighbor's yard, rolled into harmless-looking cigarettes, hidden in an innocent shoe or watch case.
If you want a good smoke, try one of these.
You will meet Bill, who once took pride in his strong will as he takes the first step toward enslavement.
Of course, if you're afraid.
Smoking the soul-destroying reefer, they find a moment's pleasure, but at a terrible price. Debauchery, violence, murder, suicide, and the ultimate end of the marijuana addict. Hopeless insanity. See this important film now, before it is too late.
I want to take another letter. There's another letter from Louis Hassenpfeffer from Manassas, Virginia. And he writes, Dear Corey, what do you feel about the recent controversy with the Washington Redskins? All right. So, are you aware of the controversy?
Yes.
That
it's
the
a
name,
racial
that it's a racist kind of
slur,
name or
I think,
something.
yeah.
So they want to change the name, and not only that now Obama is talking about censorship. That he wants to during the games, he wants to bleep out anytime they say the word Redskins.
I saw something about that.
So this all comes to this makes me think about something. I'll let you answer in a minute,
Right.
but this goes under. I did some research on some other stuff here. I've
You
gone
launched
undercover
an
and I launched a
investigation.
full investigation, and that there is a little known government agency that's called the Department of Distraction. Department of Distraction. So their only job, there's 1,200 employees that work for the Department of Distraction, and all they do is come up with nonsense to get you from looking over there.
what I'm
Don't
doing
look
with
at the
this
man
end.
in the curtain.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, this is going to fix the economy. If you don't say the word Redskins, then the economy is going to
Get better.
Absolutely. You know, and if you every day there's something new, and that the police are the problem, and that the military is the problem. You have the whole camp over there that's doing this, and on the right they're saying this, on the left they're saying this, and meantime they're picking your pockets blind. They're stealing. If we only knew exactly what they were doing, there would be a revolt. No question in my mind. But they give us distractions with this. They give you reality TV. They give you beer and
Whatever side you're on, you swallow their propaganda
Exactly.
fully, and they're all in cahoots.
Exactly.
Because they're
you
making
get it,
how
man.
you think. Now, if you do this, and you enlighten yourself a little bit, and you think about things a little differently, you're like, wow, they're all pitted against us,
Exactly,
really.
that's why.
And they are. It doesn't make me paranoid.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a stash of weapons in the basement. I don't want to hang myself in a closet over it. You know what I mean?
And that's
but
what they
it
do.
Is what it is.
They pit you against one another so they can be all laughing in the middle.
Absolutely.
It's like that's why they have the pro-gun against the anti-gun. And then whenever something happens...
That's why Bill Clinton and George Bush go golfing together.
Exactly.
What does that tell you?
This brings it all back. That George Carlin once said that this is all one big party and you ain't invited.
That's right.
Remember that. It's a whole big club.
You're the servant.
There's a whole big, we're sounding like we have some crazy conspiracy show now. But
yeah, they're going to come through the windows any minute.
Yeah, right. I'm definitely going on some wanted list here, the TSA or the Homeland Security, something. So
They'll make you look bad. You see the movies, right?
Yeah, and that's it. If you do speak like this, then you are like deemed some crazy guy, radical or something like that. But people have to realize that no politicians are looking out for their best. For their best.
John the Baptist, a crazy radical.
Exactly.
And somebody else he knew.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So
when you're the one that's going a little different than the way they're telling you to think, you're the one that becomes popular.
And remember that poem in school, or whatever it was, they made you recite that. I don't know who wrote it or how it goes, but it was like first they came for the Jews, then they came for the Russians, then they came for the Catholics, and I said nothing. Then they came for the French, and I said nothing. Then they came for me, and nobody was left to say anything. Oh, see, that's very poignant. And that's exactly what's happening. And just with, also, they want this anyone that speaks out is deemed a racist, crazy, whatever. So this way, when they do come for you and put you in the gulag, we'll be saying political correctness. We can't hurt anyone's feelings. We got to do what we're told. And then let them take the guns so we won't be able to protect ourselves. So...
Threw it all in, even the guns.
Yeah, we're throwing everything in, all in one show.
Yeah, they're definitely watching.
This is normally, and it still is, it's an anti-political show. I do not endorse anyone. I'm not a shill like, who's that shill? Bill Maher, who's a shill for the left. Bill O'Reilly, who's a shill for the right. You're stuck in the middle with me, Corey. That's the best place to be. So someday we'll all get together, we'll all realize the man is out to get us. And that's what Cheech Chong was saying. The man is out to get you.
Remember one thing. The Electoral College, why do you think that was invented? Because the majority doesn't rule.
Exactly. See? So, there you go. So, all right. Well, I hope that answered your question, Louis.
Now, there's one thing you might have noticed I don't complain about. Politicians. Everybody complains about politicians. Everybody says they suck. Yeah! Well, where do people think these politicians come from? They don't fall out of the sky. They don't pass through a membrane from another reality. They come from American parents and American families, American homes, American schools, American churches, American businesses, and American universities, and they're elected by American citizens. This is the best we can do, folks. This is what we have to offer. It's what our system produces. Garbage in, garbage out. If you have selfish, ignorant citizens, you're going to get selfish, ignorant leaders. And term limits ain't going to do you any good. You're just going to wind up with a brand new bunch of selfish, ignorant Americans. So maybe it's not the politicians who suck. Maybe something else sucks around here. Like the public. Yeah, the public sucks. There's a nice campaign slogan for somebody. The public sucks. Fuck hope. Fuck hope. Because if it's really just the fault of these politicians, then where are all the other bright people of conscience? Where are all the bright, honest, intelligent Americans ready to step in and save the nation and lead the way? We don't have people like that in this country. Everybody's at the mall, scratching his ass, picking his nose, taking his credit card out of his fanny pack and buying a pair of sneakers with lights in them. So I have solved this little political dilemma for myself in a very simple way. On Election Day, I stay home. I don't vote. Fuck them. Fuck them. I don't vote? Two reasons. Two reasons I don't vote. First of all, it's meaningless. This country was bought and sold and paid for a long time ago. The shit they shuffle around every 4 years doesn't mean a fucking thing. And secondly, I don't vote because I believe if you vote, you have no right to complain. People like to twist that around, I know. They say, well, if you don't vote, you have no right to complain. But where's the logic in that? If you vote, and you elect dishonest, incompetent people, and they get into office and screw everything up, well, you are responsible for what they have done. You caused the problem. You voted them in. You have no right to complain. I, on the other hand, who did not vote, who, in fact, did not even leave the house on election day, am in no way responsible for what these people have done and have every right to complain as loud as I want about the mess you created that I had nothing to do with. So I know that a little later on this year you're going to have another one of those really swell presidential elections that you like so much. You'll enjoy yourselves. It'll be a lot of fun. I'm sure as soon as the election is over, your country will improve immediately. As for me, I'll be home on that day doing essentially the same thing as you. The only difference is when I get finished masturbating, I'm going to have a little something to show for it, folks. Thank you very much.
got a thing for marijuana. Surrounds me like a sauna. When I get with you, I wanna tell the world how much I love ya.
I am a cannabis man. Got a joint in each of my hands. Mexican or Panama red. This true love will never end. Oh, how I love you. Marijuana, marijuana. Oh, how I love you. Marijuana, marijuana.
I'm in love with marijuana. Makes me feel just like an iguana. I know I like you like no other. In the morning I'm always looking for you, man.
I am a cannabis man. Once again, got the grass in the back of my van. Colombia, no sense me. I can't wait to feel you. Oh, how I love you. Marijuana, marijuana. Oh, how I love you. Marijuana, marijuana.
I'm in lust with marijuana. Feel it in my balls, man. So many kinds of this skunky mama. She is my prima donna.
I am a Mary Jane man. Smoke a bong or aluminum can. Let's light up this giant spliff. Roll them up, we'll hotbox it. Oh, how I love you. Marijuana, marijuana. Oh, how I love you. Marijuana, marijuana.
Gotta get some marijuana. Headed down to Tijuana. Driving in a van that's made of ganja. Just to prove how much I love ya.
I am the Prince of Pop. Got the river inside my sock. Northern lights are purple power. Oh, how I love this flower. Oh, how I love you. Marijuana, marijuana. Give me some, yes, girl. How I love you. Marijuana.
And let's band take us out now. All right, live from Dennis's house. Keep your questions coming in. Keep your thoughts, opinions, all that kind of stuff, and we'll see you next week. Cheech and Chong. Later.